Epstein did not go to the Hillary Clinton School of Email Deletion. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
There are over 3.5 million emails that have currently been released, and it is crazy. I'm not going to attempt to try and deep dive into any one specific thing. I just kind of want to broadly cover what's going on, because I think every day more stuff comes out, I think is another day that Alex Jones feels vindicated about any and every conspiracy theory he's ever made.
Why? What do you say that?
So, there's a lot in these emails. I've been following a little bit. The thing with these emails is like you can go the full blown like dig deep and find every little thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're unemployed,
yeah, right.
If you've got a life,
or if it's your job,
yeah. like you're being paid to, but I have to just browse it and like that lunch break or like the.
Do you go to the actual website?
I don't. I go over kind of just like I look on my lunch break. I kind of find like what's trending, and then I will go to a couple sources that break it down over audio, so I can listen on my drive or something like that. There you go. So try to multitask. So the one I'll start with, I guess, jerky.
Jerky, like beef jerky.
There is a slew of emails. There's very clearly jerky does not mean jerky in the emails.
Oh,
there are theories that it means child flesh meat.
No.
Yeah. That's like the crazy far end one. There's others. It's probably drugs.
Okay.
It's probably drugs.
Yeah.
Because it's like correspondence between like Epstein and other people where it's like, oh, that jerky was great. Well, I'm gonna have to send 6 to 8 ounces of that jerky off to the lab for testing.
My God,
it's like, it's like, oh well, this can you make me up another batch of jerky? It was supposed to last me like 2 weeks. It's only lasted me a couple of days. Ha ha. It's like oh dude, no, it's crazy. It's clearly they're not talking about beef jerky.
That was funny.
Yeah. So
it's definitely drugs.
It's most likely drugs. The far end ones, theories are that it's human meat. So
yeah, they're sending that off to a lab.
Yeah, I mean, hey. So here's the other one. Another one was Epstein paid. There was a guy who. I'm trying the best way to put this. So there was a guy who Epstein had correspondence with through emails where the guy, this was I think 2015, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was hacking the internet, like search engines, Google, Wikipedia, and removing the pedophile thing under Jeffrey Epstein's like Wikipedia. He was basically hacking Google's website and flooding it with other Jeffrey Epsteins to make it less likely make Jeffrey Epstein and his pedophilia stuff, like convictions and stuff, to show up on Google during Google searches.
Wow.
Yeah. And they changed the picture that he was being used. The guy was found dead in 2019, pushed off a cliff. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he's in France. It's crazy. There's so much stuff going on. You've got the DOJ redacting names that are already public. You've got them unredacting names that aren't public. You've got them releasing the names of victims. You've got them like, this is just insanity, man.
Yeah.
We live in a timeline. This is crazy.
Well, they just had Pam Bondi on for like a congressional hearing in front of some committee. I don't know what the committee was. They were talking about the Epstein files a little bit, and she made a comment about how fast that they were required to release like the documents and everything.
Yeah.
And just in response to like the redaction of the victims and stuff, and they've had to like take back documents they've released in order to redact redact some stuff that should have been redacted in the beginning. So, but was it the 3.5 million documents in total?
As of now,
yeah.
I think there's 6 million total.
Really?
Yeah, they've only released about
half of them.
Half. Yeah. It has never been more evident that this is all just theater, political theater. Like, I was watching a little bit of the hearing, and it just, I mean, I don't know how we exist with
Oh, well,
Like, how is this our government right now? It's a bunch of children screaming at each other. And
yeah, you're talking
done.
about the hearings or
the hearings. Especially with Pam Bondi. It's just
a lot of them are. Yeah, there's definitely a theatrical like aspect to it. It's like a lot of the congressmen are just trying to get congressmen and women. Sorry, are trying to they're trying to get views. They're trying to create clickbaity comments that can be put up on CNN or Fox or whatever, and then get views. I mean, that's half of what it is, and that sells though. So I mean, can you really blame them?
No, I know. It's just it's depressing when you look at it and you're like,
it is.
This is our government.
It is.
They operate like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't even want to single out specific. I'll single out a couple things, but like both sides are just atrocious in this. Mm-hmm. It's so disgusting. Like I'm watching this and it's like also okay. So a few things that stood out to me was very quickly this hearing. The highlights, at least of it, were not targeted about the Epstein list. It was very much an attack on Pam Bondi, as Attorney General.
Exactly. It was crazy,
and it was kind of gross to me because not only was she being basically dragged through the mud allegedly for the sake of the victims. It just quickly became a shit slinging fest. And then she wouldn't answer questions, and they were asking questions that I didn't think were relevant. But then when they did, she didn't answer them. And it was just a mess, dude. It's depressing. It's depressing to see this. Like, this is not how it should operate. I was joking. I was like, I feel like it'd be way more productive if you just took one person to represent the one side and the one person to represent the other side, and they go just sit down separately and then together with Joe Rogan. like that would be so much more productive.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't convince me that anything came of this.
No, absolutely not. No.
Nothing's going to come from it.
No.
It's because, like you said, they were giving almost no time to comb through 6 million documents. Now, on the flip side of that, they should have been going through this for months. This should have been started the second they got into office. So had they started back then, I would have fully expected everything to have been released in December. But clearly they didn't start back then. And then you run into like the redactions and all those issues. It's like, okay, when you've got 30 days, a deadline of 30 days, there are going to be mistakes.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many mistakes made. And unfortunately, it's something as serious as people as victims, releasing victim names and not releasing names that should be released.
So what's the big deal about, releasing victim names and stuff?
Publicizing who they were, exposing them basically.
Yeah, what's wrong with,
Well, in a civilized society, we would all be able to rally behind those people and support them, but we don't live in a civilized society. So there are doubtless people who will slander and attack them online. Is my take on it. That's my explanation for why it's such a huge deal to release who they are. It is something very private. It is something very tragic, and I wouldn't want information like that out either. So I get it. I get why it's a concern that they did, and it's not okay. And that they whoever the person was who pressed the button to hit send or whatever it was, they need to be held accountable because it's incompetence, and you can't stand incompetence in those positions. But
yeah,
but I also not going to say they didn't lay a trap for it. I mean, there were obviously going to be mistakes.
Oh yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just curious as to why, like at least from Congress, why do all the redactions need to be there? Why can't? Isn't that the whole point? Like so Congress knows what's going on. You know what I mean?
I think it's part of the transparency part of the bill they were passing. They demanded transparency, so basically all the documentation could be available besides key things like victims' names, explicit material, stuff like that. Obviously, is kept out of that.
No, explicit material. Yeah, I get that, but
I don't know. I mean, it was. I think they were given an impossible. Well, not an impossible task. Had they started on it ASAP, it would not have been an impossible task. But it definitely just shows the floundering of the administration's DOJ of not prioritizing this.
Oh, sure, but haven't the files been in the hands of the DOJ for years.
Well, so that's where I also think that it's a bit. I didn't like a lot of Pam Bondi's responses where she's like, well, Merrick Garland and well, the previous administration, well, they all had this too. Yes, and they didn't release it either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. That doesn't change the fact that you're not released. You have had these issues now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would love if we circle back and drill those people for why this was not released and all that stuff too. I would love if we had a congressional hearing talking to all of those people too. But that's not what they were doing in that moment. In that moment, she was the one up there on the stand. She was the one being talked to.
Yeah, but then again, if people don't speak up about that, then it's just going to be swept under the rug like everything else. You know what I mean? So she's using the spotlight to kind of, make sure that people don't forget about the fact that it wasn't released in the previous administration. You know what I mean?
But I don't think it required her entire 5-minute response.
Oh, see, I don't know how long she talked about it, but
whatever time she was given, she basically filibustered.
She filibustered a little bit.
She filibustered a lot of the questions.
Hey, that's all right. She's in a room full of people who do the exact same thing.
Yeah. It sounded like a bunch of kids, dude. Like they're up there like, I demand my time. I demand my time back. Yeah. She's wasting time. That's not the answer. That's not relevant.
It always does. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. The Fox Now channel that I watch is like half of it is just like committee hearings and stuff like that. And like every single time I'm watching it, I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, this is pathetic.
Embarrassing.
It's pathetic. Yeah. Half the time it's pathetic. And then they like every once in a while you get this one person who has this like good little 60-second, monologue, and he actually makes some points. He or she makes some points, and you're like, oh, okay. And then it just diverts back into goes nowhere. Achieves nothing. But
yeah, it's all a sham. I think it's a joke. I don't think we're actually going to see anything actually come from them. I do want to see more investigation into the emails and stuff like that. The island. Another thing they're talking about a lot is
at the very least, it is lending transparency. People are able to see, a little bit more about how, the world works and like the deep state works, if you will, or, how the elites kind of operate. It does, for the people who have time to research it, it does lend some new perspectives, which is good.
And I will say this, they have released a lot. So that's good. Because I was looking into like, what are the actual ramifications of them not following the letter and to the T of what was proposed or what the legislation that was passed and Trump signed in November that was forcing them to basically do all this.
Mm.
And there's really no consequences for this. There's really not going to be any. It just it's literally another political point that they can score.
Right.
And the thing that's frustrating is I'm watching all this and I'm like, guys. Your responses and these responses, like there are some decent ones, a lot of bad ones. Don't give ammunition to the Inquisition. Basically, they are crazy 95% of the time, and I don't agree with the majority of what they're saying. But then when they have a solid point, like okay, I don't know, why did they not meet with the victims? As of at that hearing, the DOJ had not met with victims to interview them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. It is political theater, so they said that they never met with them. There's no record of them meeting with them. Maybe that's because they've already got interviewed in a previous administration. I don't know. Like that's the unfortunate thing is they say these things and expect you to take them as truth. And maybe they didn't have a need to meet with them because everything that the victims had already shared was in some sort of file or something.
Sure.
And that's something that a lot of people probably don't think about.
Yeah,
I didn't think about it initially, and then I was like, "Well, okay."
That's kind of like that Don Lemon thing that he threw at the pastor or whatever, whoever he was interviewing. He's like, they're all none of them are criminals, but they all been charged. It's the same kind of thing. Like you didn't interview any of the victims, but somebody might have, and she might have record of it that she's looked into. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of BS. But
that's why everything that was being said and being done was I took it all with a grain of salt, and I didn't actually think, am I a fan of Pam Bondi's, as AG? Not really.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of choices they made this year or last year I would not have, or there's a lot of things they didn't do that I thought they should have. But they're in that position, and I don't know. I'm curious to see what comes from it. I don't think much. We're already seeing the partisan divide where one side, she dunked on him, and on the other side's like, oh, see, she's just as corrupt and guilty. I'm like, if we watch the same thing we don't come to the conclusion that the entire thing's a joke, what are we doing? Like,
well, I don't think it's a joke. Like I said, like at least the files are out there. Like they did.
Well, I mean, the hearing's a joke.
The hearing,
like that's what I was talking about. Like the hearing's a joke. Like they're not actually doing anything. They're not actually gonna do anything to her. They're just, like you said, they're just there to score points.
Yeah, it's like like these Congress people and these committees walk on a fine line because they don't want to do something to like the opposing people. Because then when they get into power or they appoint somebody, they don't want the same thing to be done, to their people. You know what I mean? So they're not, there's lines. I feel like this is what I think kind of goes on behind the curtains. Like there's lines that like they'll slander her, sure. You know what I mean? And try to, get her to trip up, but they're not going to impeach her, or what are they trying to do with the Homeland Security chick?
Yeah. So I know what you're saying, and I get it's kind of like a Cold War.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither side wants to go nuclear. Neither side wants to
right.
Explode and basically not be able to walk back anything that's
exactly
done. You got to be mindful of who's coming next. Right. But I would argue that the Democrats already did that with Trump by weaponizing the system against him with a 34 felony conviction charges.
Well, they 100% have, and a lot of
to see the Republicans do it to anyone on the left so far.
Well, I mean, we'll have to wait till the next presidential election to see if they do the same thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So they've got time, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying I want them to. I'm not saying I want the Republicans to go out and start, rounding up opposition. I'm just saying it was done to Trump, and so they already let the cat out of the bag, and we have yet to see this administration, because they didn't do it with Walz. They didn't charge Walz with sedition. They didn't do all that. I think they might have had grounds to do something like that.
Sure. I mean, it's all about power, and they're still in power.
Yeah.
I mean, once they're out of power, we might see a little bit more.
On the way out, they might try and do something. What you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, could be.
Possibly. I don't know. Like it's just a tightrope walk back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, damn, I was going to say something else. I forgot what it was.
It was on your notes.
Nope.
it's hard not to be cynical with all this.
Have you seen the Mike Benz episode on the JRE?
No.
He's a former Secretary of State, and he went in depth about, or tried to go in depth about Epstein. They were like, that's all they talked about for like 2.5 hours. And I mean, he didn't really talk about Epstein specifically all that much, but he kind of talked about how, or like who Epstein was, like in regards to international relations and stuff. And he called him some sort of like a fixer. So he was in the middle of like just a whole bunch of, international interactions. You know what I mean? Like he was in the middle of a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So it's just,
I mean, he got an email from that one warlord or sultan, whoever, thanks for the torture video. Like,
yeah, no, I'm just, yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. What about that Super Bowl halftime show? What do you think about that?
Trying to move the subject, huh?
Oh, we could keep talking about.
No, I'm gonna be honest. We're just sharing our opinions. We're very uninformed. We're not like.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we don't have the time to dig deep to find the nitty gritty and go, well, they actually said this and we are commenting on what we are consuming through the media and through the limited amount of time a day that we have to look at it. I'm not saying this is not advice for how to think. It's just our opinions on these things. I mean, it's can be call it uneducated, but it's what I feel like is going on.
Yeah, I mean, I just exhausted everything I know about Epstein.
Okay.
In that, I mean, like I don't.
Okay. Well, okay. Tell me about this. Halftime show. Crazy. What happened during the halftime show? I didn't hear about that at all.
You really don't know what happened?
I sounded sarcastic, but I'm being kind of honest. I actually don't know. I didn't watch it. I don't watch it in general.
You don't know who was
Bad
the
Bunny,
halftime?
okay.
That, yeah. Do you know who Bad Bunny is?
No.
Okay. I mean, he's a Puerto Rican rapper. I don't know. It's a controversial thing right now, or it was leading up to it. It has been a little bit afterwards.
Explain to me why it's controversial.
Because he doesn't speak English. is one of the reasons. Another one.
Well,
another one is
Crash Course. Yeah, give me Crash Course.
Another controversial thing is that he's like openly anti-American. Another thing is he's there's the lyrics of the stuff that he was talking about in his raps on the halftime show. You haven't seen any content?
I've mostly avoided it because I feel like it's a non-issue issue. That's my opinion, though. I don't. Like I said,
I think it's being blown out of proportion.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Kanye probably would have had a fire halftime show with this song he released last year.
Which one is that? The Nazi one?
Yeah. We're not going to say the name. We're not going to say the name.
What name? Hail Hitler one?
No, oh my God. I'll bleep that.
I can't say that?
No, I don't want to say it.
Not even on
it's going to get flagged so fast on YouTube.
Not even on Spotify?
Spotify maybe, but YouTube will flag that and we won't get any.
I hear that name all the time on Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah, but it's Joe Rogan. Like he can get past the shadow banning.
I don't think Spotify really shadow bans.
No, but YouTube. I'm saying YouTube will be 100. Yeah, I will.
Bleep it.
But anyway, yeah, no.
Do you want me to what time?
No, I already got it. I got it. It's fine. I was making a joke. I was just like, what he was saying is as controversial as Kanye's most recent.
You can't say that and expect me not to say it with you. I'm going to say it. You should know that by now.
That's fair. But now you know. But maybe there's nothing against holding it up on a piece of paper. I'm just kidding. We're just every time we need to reference something like that, we'll just flash it up on a card. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't look at the lyrics. I didn't look at who he really is.
Yeah, I mean, those are just those three things that I said are like he doesn't like. It was in Spanish. The entire halftime show was in Spanish, right?
Cool.
Which that part doesn't really bother me. Like the lyrics he was talking about. Were kind of not what I would have thought for like a big, American family event. You know what I mean? They were talking about
Spanish. They don't know what it means.
Yeah. Well, true. But that's what I've heard a lot of the people who don't necessarily agree with the halftime performance pick. That's what they're saying is the lyrics are atrocious because he's talking about having a bunch of girlfriends and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that just sounds like the hip hop culture to me.
Yeah, that's just hip hop.
I mean,
it's just garbage culture.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing new from any of the past 5 or 6 performances either. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was all over Instagram and everything the past week and a half.
Yeah, I honestly
they had that whole alternative halftime show Turning Point. You heard about that?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I saw a little bit of that. I basically just checked out numbers because that's all I care about. Like numbers is the only thing that's going to tell me anything that I want to know. Which all I wanted to know was were people really that outraged, or was this kind of a fabricated, outrage? And
right.
I mean, he did get less viewership. But that could be literally for any reason. It could be because they don't know who Bad Bunny is. It could be because people didn't watch the Super Bowl as much as the others. It could be for any number of reasons. So to say that's because people are protesting or didn't like, I don't know. And I don't really care. But I will say that I was irritated at the news coverage, a little bit of the news coverage of it, because they labeled the Turning Point USA one as far right. I think it was ABC or some news.
Of course,
some station was like, the far right alternative one, and then I saw a couple people talking about the symbolism in it, and I was like, guys, what are we doing?
What kind of symbolism?
Kanye West symbolism.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
whatever.
The 1940s Germany symbolism.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just to me it was a big nothing burger because it doesn't impact anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just something for people to be buzzed about. And honestly, it's the old saying of whatever is in the news cycle, what is currently being overshadowed by that.
Exactly.
That's what they don't want you to be seeing going on. So,
what I didn't know though, since we're on the subject, is the Rock Nation is the company that coordinates all the halftime show performances. Mm-hmm. The owner of that is Jay-Z.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And he has almost apparently, I don't know for sure, fact check me on this or whatever, but apparently he has he is the decision maker ultimately in the end for who performs during the halftime show of the Super Bowl. Yeah, like he can veto. He kind of like the president. You know what I mean? He can veto a decision, or what would he say? Pretty much goes. Like, does he like? And then whoever the president of the NFL also has a big say in it too. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And he took Rock Nation is his company. Signed a contract with the NFL back in 2019. And I've been doing it ever since. Before that,
didn't he ever do a halftime show recently?
I don't remember.
I feel like he did. Keep talking.
But before that, it was really more up to, like the city where the halftime show was being held in. They had a lot of say in it, and then I forget who else, but it wasn't like one organization that picked the halftime performer, which I thought sounded like a better deal to me. You know, a little bit more, catering to the audience. But I don't know. Like it's like at this point, it seems to me like the NFL kind of sold out a little bit after that. Like it's just another arm of the Hollywood.
It's just an extension of the
more of the same. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of not upsetting, but it was like ew, cringy, I guess is what you could call it, in my opinion.
Well, so to
find that out.
To talk on that, what was very interesting to me is I think it was the Grammys that they just had, right? They just had the Grammys. Who was it?
Oh, that was another Billie Eilish.
Yeah, her comment she made, and I was like,
"That's another." Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's like, dude, the hypocrisy. It's like they don't even consider. It's like they don't even stop to consider what they're saying and the implications of what they're saying. Like her.
Oh no, they 100% do. Like that was planned, 100%.
No, that what it's planned is, but I don't think the people saying it, because I feel like they're being told to say it, but
they are.
But I don't think they understand. Like she can't see the hypocrisy in what she's saying.
I'm sure she does.
That's see.
Maybe not. Maybe they're all
they do.
stupid.
Maybe I'm not cynical enough in that regard.
I think she knew. Like she has to know,
stupid.
And she just has to. She's appealing to her fan base, you know what I mean, by saying that. All they're doing is, furthering
I would be so offended if I was the fan base. Like, you have these multimillionaire people up there talking about being part of the resistance, and it's like, bitch, where were you in Minnesota? Like, you were talking about being out there and protesting, and it's like, you're not there. Like, cool.
These people are blue-pilled and hate Trump enough to go with whatever. You know what I mean? They don't even want to think, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was like, oh yeah, who did,
There was one actor. I'm trying to figure out who it was.
Hulk?
No. There was one actor. I'm trying to find his name while we're also talking, so my brain's not firing that fast. Basically, it was an actor. What he did was he went up there and it gave me Shrek vibes. And the reason it gave me Shrek vibes is because, hang on.
Like, I don't know. So, while you're looking for that, I'm like the whole Super Bowl thing, because I don't have anything against Latino culture or Hispanic culture or whatever, but it does kind of feel like it was forced. It was forced. You know what I mean? It was kind of like in your face, completely Spanish show, like literally not a word of English, is kind of weird, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like it's not the majority language you would think, like in one of the biggest sporting events in the world, they would kind of cater to their main audience a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like it was this could be just cynical opinion on me, but I feel like they were kind of, attacking certain people. You know what I mean? Just by having that performer, having Bad Bunny on,
Yeah. So
what do you think to that?
Feels like the woke era, where they just make decisions based on because I say it feels like the woke era because I feel like we kind of came out of it a little bit, but we're still, obviously it's still pretty alive, but they're catering to the political opinions and political disposition of, like, you're right, not even their fan base. Like, it's like,
right. Well, and then anybody who has an issue with it or would rather it be somebody else's, oftentimes called a racist or something, or something like along those lines. I mean,
Yes.
like, well, not necessarily. It's just not what I would have preferred to have watched for the halftime
But why,
show.
Ethan? Why?
You know what I mean?
Why would you not prefer that? Because they're
Because I
Puerto
can't
Rican?
understand
Wow.
it. It's not entertaining to me. You know what I mean?
God, these people.
Like, and like one of the arguments is the NFL is trying to move into other countries, and get more viewerships in other countries and stuff. I'm like, well, I mean, that's cool, I guess, but
yeah, but what about all those other countries? Like, they already consume all American media anyway. Like
right.
American culture is already disseminated into like basically every major first world country in the form of like music, shows.
Right.
Like,
I think it was like
you don't need to change up. It's already out there. You don't need to try and fundamentally change it to appeal to them when it's already being consumed by the audiences.
To me, it was like a huge, giant, like virtue signal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's annoying, is it? Like, I don't know.
Well, speaking of virtue signal, here is I found the quote and the author. So it's from a Breaking Bad actor. I said author, actor. Giancarlo Esposito, called for revolution. So this is the type. This sounds like Shrek, and I'll explain why. Because this is time for a revolution, and they don't even know what they're starting. We have to stand up to it. They can't take us all down. If the whole world showed up on Putin's doorstep, or the Iranians' doorstep, or in Washington, they'd kill 500 or 50 million or however many, but the rest of us would survive with a new world.
Wait, what? What is that? What are you reading?
The quote he said.
Who?
The actor at the something that we were told to Sundance Film Festival that we're told to care about because he's apparently in some show that people like, and now apparently his opinion matters. Literally equating Washington to Putin and Iran, and then saying that they could kill 500 or 50 million of us, but the rest of us would survive with a new world. And I say that sounds like Shrek, and that sounds an awful lot like Lord Farquaad.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Like, that is almost verbatim what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, dude, excuse me, shut the fuck up. Like, you're not the one out there protesting. You're not the one out there doing these things. You're not in Minnesota. You're not in Minneapolis. You're not marching over to Iran. You're not marching up to Putin. You're not doing any of this shit. You're some Hollywood actor who was big in like one show, maybe more shows. I don't give a shit. And now all of a sudden we're supposed to care what you think and what you're saying. You're not doing the legwork. You're not doing any of this. I don't give a shit.
Who was it? Who said it?
I said the name. You gotta listen.
Oh, was I in the middle of talking?
No. Giancarlo Esposito.
I don't know who that is. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a more
Virtue signaling.
Yeah. Well, it's a further reaching statement like that lady who had the FBI show up at her doorstep for what you just brought up. It's the same exact thing. Like you're telling like other people to go and do something, and while she was just in her house and she's telling people to go out and get their vests and guns and giving people addresses and stuff. Well, and he's just he's like,
sitting there
if you guys go up here and I stand back, you know what I mean?
Well, this is what's so annoying is like, if I was someone who agreed with him, if I was one of the people who's trying to read, if I was out there protesting ICE or agitating ICE or whatever you want to say, if I was one of those people, I would be pissed. I'd be like, you're not out here. You're not out here with us.
Right.
Like, first off, they have their own slew of issues, I'd say, doing all that, but like at least they're out there.
Yeah.
I don't agree with a lot of what they're doing. I think if you want to peacefully protest, fine, go protest. Fine, stand on the sidewalk. Protest. Don't interfere. But we don't need to get into the ICE thing because that's already starting to fizzle out. But basically,
no, I want to say something about it after you're done.
Okay, but basically, you're not out there doing it, and you're acting like, oh, we're the revolution. We'll fight and we'll have a better world when we're done. They'll kill 50 million of us. Not you, because you're not going to be out there. You're going to hide away in your little Hollywood mansion and sit there and tweet more about it and pretend like you're. And then as soon as everything's done and over with, you'll come out and be like, "Yeah, good job, guys. We did great.
Right,
we did so well. What was it? It's some movie. What was? Oh man, it's like I can see. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Like the first one, when the Commodore or whatever, the governor was in there and like they fight off and he comes out and starts acting like he's like fought him off too.
Yeah.
It's like that's what this guy's doing. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You're doing nothing. Like,
I mean, in his defense, he was battling like a skeletal hand for 20 minutes.
He even did more than this guy, though.
Exactly. That's my point.
Giancarlo, or whatever the fuck his name is. That's stuff that's pandering. That's such pandering. Like, like how do you not see them and go and get mad at that? Like, I don't know. Like,
no, 100%. Yeah,
we give them too much credit. We don't.
Absolutely.
If you are a Hollywood figure and your job is to act in movies, I don't give a shit what your political opinions are.
Yeah.
Act in the movie, say the line. Like,
right.
Like, it's the same thing.
That's probably what he did there.
Yeah.
Somebody probably gave him those lines.
Have you ever seen the way back when like the olden days of Avengers when they just added Captain Marvel, Brie Larson? Did you ever see the interviews with her and the other cast members?
No.
I only saw them because someone made a compilation of how much the cast members hated Brie Larson, which was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But they're sitting there and they're talking and they're asking her. This was, I think, the 2016 election, maybe around that era. And she's talking about how, oh yeah, I think they're like, oh, how do you use your position as Captain America? It's just, you're in this position, you have this audience and this reach. How do you use that politically to advocate and stuff like that? She goes, yeah, I call for advocating and activism, and we really need to go hit the street and get the message out and basically rah rah rah, screw Trump, like like all that stuff. Like, oh yeah, we need to do this. We need to use that position. And then they asked Liam Hemsworth or Chris Hemsworth, and he's like, he's next to her, he's like, yeah, I don't think we should be talking about any of that. He's like, we're actors. Like, we're just act. Like, I don't think we should be abusing that position. He's like, what do we know to tell them? Like,
right.
She gave him the dirtiest look.
Really?
She was so pissed.
Yeah, you set me up.
Like, and I was like, exactly. Thank you, base.
Yeah.
Like, you are in a position where you are entertainment solely. You shouldn't be out here and just like, yeah, you can sit there and say your opinions, but don't be sitting here trying to be an activist and be among the fodder that you're speaking to and pretend like you are them. And
right, you're not famous because of your political opinions. You're famous because you can act. You know what I mean? You're entertaining.
Yeah,
100%. No, like the people that use their fame to try to influence, that kind of stuff is annoying to me.
I have no problem with them expressing their opinions. I have no problem with them sharing what they think on it. It's the call to action and the holier than thou and the virtue signaling and all the words that they're basically telling you what to think and how to act. That's what irritates me.
And it wouldn't irritate me as much if it weren't heavily one-sided with celebrities. You know what I mean? Like, at least publicly, they're very like democratic and liberal in the way the comments they make and you know what I mean. So
no, it's because that's the culture that's the side that's had predominantly the has had the cultural revolution basically, and they were the ones that it's the woke culture. It's the culture that was predominating, and so they're just trying to fit in with it. It's the majority of them don't actually care. They don't actually believe in any of the stuff they're saying. They just
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it wouldn't bother me as much if it weren't all fake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But real quick, I saw this thing. We're talking about ICE in Minnesota, where there was this neighborhood that had set up like roadblocks at all the entrances. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
All the entrances to their neighborhood were like checking on people that were coming into the neighborhood.
Oh, there's videos of them
like to look out for ICE.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it sounds a lot like a border to a country. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing exactly what ICE is doing. You know what I mean?
Let them cook. Maybe they'll gain self-awareness at some point doing that. No, it's great.
No, they won't.
They were doing checkpoints too. This guy had a vehicle that looked like an ICE vehicle, and like, dude, I think I sent you the video. No joke. He's like, guys, I am media. Like, I'm not ICE. Like, I've already showed you guys yesterday. This other woman's like, yeah, I saw him yesterday. He's fine. He's clear. And he goes, I don't know what you guys want me to do. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I need to go. This is can you let me through? Like, showing him his ID, like all this stuff. And he goes, what do you want me to do? And they're like, drive a different car. He's like, what? No. He's not like a driver in the car. They're like, just rent another car. And I stopped and I'm like, that's so stupid. Like you're stopping him, asking for ID, asking for verification. He's not ICE, which is incredibly hypocritical. But on top of that, the solution to the problem is not to do the thing you're doing. It's to drive a different vehicle. Boy, I wonder if ICE thought of that.
Is that even legal for like a citizen to stop another citizen and ask them for like ID and impede their?
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. But like, who's going to stop them at that point?
Local law enforcement?
No, you kidding me? After Walls was like, stand down.
That was a joke.
We're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Which also, in my opinion, was telling local law enforcement not to support federal agencies enacting things. Yeah. The whole Minnesota, Minneapolis, we don't need to, we're already been going for a while. We're going to go for a much longer time if we for sure. It's a joke. It's a mess. It's already on the tail end of dying down from the news circuit. I mean, it's the majority of the people know what they saw, and there were issues with the enforcement, but there were also agitators amongst the crowds. It was just a mess. The loss of life is sad, tragic, shouldn't have happened. But I think there was any number of ways it could have been fixed before it led to loss of life.
Mm-hmm.
From majority one side. So it's tough. It's tough because I'm sad that people died. Nobody should have died.
I just hope eventually we see a lot more, politicians and people in power being held accountable for their actions, and their, the way that they perform their jobs. Had
certain individuals gotten over themselves and allowed federal law enforcement to do their job and backed them up with local law enforcement, then we wouldn't probably not have seen the deaths that we did.
Yep.
And also not basically doing everything except telling people to go do it. This is just the natural progression of using the terminology that we've been using for a lot. Not we, but society's been using for the last decade and a half of calling people Nazi and fascist and all these things. These words have meanings. They had meanings.
They know. That's why they were using them.
I know, but that's the thing is like these people in those positions were using them, but the fodder, the cannon fodder, the ones out there actually on the street, have been radicalized to the point where they truly believe these things, and it's
a big old psyop.
Like I've said before, if we truly believed that Nazis were taking over, you do something.
100%.
But guys, come on. We can't just be calling everyone we disagree with a Nazi. We can't be calling them fascist. We can't be calling them all a communist, a Marxist. Come on, people. This is radicalizing not only other people, but yourself. And it's just ridiculous because now people go out, they will do these crazy things. My opinion is whenever you see any side doing this thing where they're gassing up their constituents to go be confrontational, do the things, they know what they're doing. Like you said, they know what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose because they know that some idiot out there is going to believe them and go commit violence or go commit an act or go be a fodder or soldier for them and push the cause.
They're going to try to be a hero.
They won't have to pay the price.
No,
That's
exactly.
why they do it. That's why they do it. It's both sides are doing it. I mean, look at J6. Now, I don't think God, I said when I'm going to get into this. There were people that were gassed up for J6. There were people that were 100% gassed up, and if they had been, walked back from the ledge, maybe things wouldn't have gone as they did.
Yeah, isn't it proven that there were actually FBI or something insurrectionists in that crowd though? Isn't that
there were plainclothes officers.
Yeah.
It's what we don't have is any proof or evidence of them egging the crowd on.
That's super fishy though.
I know. No, I know.
It's been everything. It's everything but been proven.
Yeah. But the thing is we don't know. There were plainclothes officers there. There were
a lot of them.
There were a lot of stuff going on. And we can't forget that
I feel
there were people who also died. That people that were also killed in J6. So
yeah, I can't remember the number of agents that were in the crowd, but I feel like there was probably enough of them to be able to alter the course of the event in the opposite direction that it went. You know
Maybe.
what I mean? It's
Maybe. It's the same issue.
That's the conspiracy theorist in me though. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's why I'll admit it's fishy, but also, it doesn't have to be, but also, it's a suspicious thing. I think J6 was bad. I don't think it should have gone down. It should have just been a protest, but it devolved into a riot.
I think it could have been prevented easily.
Yeah, I think it could have been prevented too. I think there were any number of people that could have taken the off ramp there.
Yeah.
Had you had more police present, might not have happened. Had you had certain speeches actually disseminated to the crowd instead of blocked through social media, like not speeches, but like when Trump did call for no violence at certain points, that was blocked and shadow banned by Twitter at the time. I mean, if had those been gone through, maybe it would have changed. Had he not used some of the rhetoric he used, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Like any number of things could have changed those events. So it just the same as any number of events could have changed.
Had the National Guard been called in?
Yeah. Any number of events could have changed the Minnesota one too. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Had the ICE agents backed off, had they backed off and stopped operations,
it's a very similar situation.
Yeah, that could have prevented the deaths. Had cooperation and between the agencies happened, that could have prevented the deaths. Had you had officials willing to cooperate and not gas people up, that could have prevented the deaths.
Yeah.
Had you actually arrested these people prior to them doing the things that led to them being killed, it wouldn't have happened either.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying arrest them because they're out there protesting. Arrest them for actually real crimes, like for example, impediment of officers. Like, had that happened, they'd still be alive today. Like, any number of things could have changed the outcome, and I wish any of these things would have happened. But
yeah, I mean, what it comes down to, in my opinion, is
God, I already hear the comment section foaming at the mouth on that. Yeah, they're gonna grill me for that comment.
Like, look, Trump got elected, in a democracy. He was elected president. Why is there so much opposition to what he's trying to do? President gets elected, the government should then work together to, help the president do what he said he was going to do, because he got voted into office because he said it was going to do by the majority of the people, right? 4 or 8 years later, you get a new president. Same thing should be done for that president. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that's what it comes down to, is that's not what's happening. Like, the opposing party is doing everything they can to impede the president, of the United States. You know what I mean? And that's what it all comes down to, whether Trump or not. Like, I don't care who's the president. You know what I mean? Like, that president was elected. So, like, why is there so much opposition to what he's trying to do? You know what I mean? Like, the people have spoken. At that point, it's like, is this really a democracy, or like, is that really what you guys are fighting for? Is the democracy? Because that's what the left is spewing right now. Like, oh, the democracy's under attack. We got to protect the democracy. I'm like, the democracy voted this dude in. You know what I mean? And
no, we don't know that. I'm not saying election denial, but
election, is that, are they starting to say that?
They've thrown out actions.
That's just another.
Every side that loses throws out accusations.
You're proving my point. You're proving my point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they're doing is trying to impede as best they can. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the same thing will probably happen with the next president, Democrat or Republican. And it's just annoying. You know what I mean? Like, that's why nothing seems to ever get done. You know what I mean? Yep. And props to Trump. Seems like he's actually doing some stuff, but regardless, whether it be
that's going to get us grilled in the comment section.
Yeah, whether it's because he's a fascist or trying to be a king, he's getting stuff done. So he knows seems like he knew what was going to happen, and he, all those executive orders and everything seem to be doing a little bit of something. But
yeah, I will say this: the media,
like, I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know, because I haven't really paid attention a lot to what previous presidents have done. I don't know if it's just like my age now, or if this is just such a controversial presidency that I'm paying more attention. But he seems to be using executive orders a lot more than I've ever heard of in the past. I don't know the statistics on that. I don't know if it's true or not. We could probably look it up real quick.
Well, no, keep going. They're close. It's not like outrageously more than others.
But I was just talking about how the Congress people and congressional committees and stuff are walking this fine line of, not doing something that they want the other party to do in the future, and vice versa. Like, how many presidents in the future are going to learn and do things similarly to what Trump has been doing? You know what I mean? Like they're calling him what he is, what they're calling him now, but are they going to turn around and do the same exact thing once they're in power? You know?
Yeah. I will say this. So yeah, as
riveting.
His first term 220, Biden's term 162.
Yeah, that was auto pen though.
Obama 276, Trump's term right now 240. So I mean, he is kind of trending higher. George Bush 290, Bill Clinton 364. Man, dude,
364. Wow.
You know who the real fascist? Franklin Roosevelt 3,726.
Yeah, that was wartime.
Yeah. Also, he had numerous more years there. I'll tell you who the real fascist was. There was a president who had none. William Harrison had none. But George Washington out here with 8 executive orders. Whew, that tyrant, man.
So what is Trump's total right now?
240.
Like both terms?
No, both terms. He's probably almost 600.
So that's pretty high.
He's 480.
I mean, so that is higher than a lot of the past presidents, but...
Yeah. Obama really didn't do it. 276 for 2 terms, so he's already passed.
He
still has 3 more years. So
yeah. So
I don't like executive orders. I think, but it is what it is.
See, in my opinion, it's a way to get things done when you don't want to BS around. I don't know.
Yeah, like when you control the branch of the government, and you're still passing executive orders. Yeah.
I guess when you say it that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of executive orders. I don't care who's doing them. I think kind of is abusing a tool that was meant to be used sparingly. But I don't know. What do I know? I'm not an expert. I'm not, just my feel on it. So, but what I wanted to say before we wrap up is we've talked a lot of topics that I feel pretty controversial on a surface level. But you could dig into them any depth, and there's more to it. So, avoid the media headlines. If the media has a headline, try to do some digging on it. Don't just take what you see face value. Focus on real problems, not halftime shows.
I mean, I feel like that is kind of a real problem.
It could be. No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
we can dig into it more.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, for me,
I don't like how the powers that be shift culture the way that they want it to be shifted.
Could be. There you go.
And that was my biggest problem with the halftime show. You know what I mean? It seemed it was forced.
You heard it here first, folks. Ethan does not like Puerto Ricans taking white man's jobs.
No, I don't like unnatural culture shifts. You know what I mean? It's not natural. You know what I mean? Like
being facetious.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, no, I just think
that's my big problem with Hollywood, movies and stuff, and
it's just all activism at this point. It's all activism, and it's all just activism for the sake of patting each other on the back, pretending like they're doing a good job and not actually caring.
That shouldn't have a spot in entertainment. Like you're here to entertain me, not
not to be a political,
not to try to
a figure. Yeah,
alter the way that I think. You know what I mean? That's not your job.
Leave that for the psyops. Leave it for the.
That's what it is. A psyop.
MK Ultra.
That's my point. Is it's a psyop. Yeah. They shouldn't be doing that.
Nope.
But that was my big issue with it. I don't care I don't care that it was in Spanish. I don't care that he was Puerto Rican. I don't care if he's talking about having a bunch of girlfriends. Cool. But it was just it's the fact that it was. I already said it.
Yep. But Ethan's out here like, damn it, make football American again. I want a halftime show I can understand. I want none of the Puerto Ricans on the stage.
And I couldn't even watch it. I was too busy to watch. I was at work, busy, one of the busiest days of the year for us. So, but.
So, yeah, thank you for listening to 2 idiots talk about political things and share our opinions on them. By no means do we are not Hollywood. We don't tell you how to think. We just share how we think, and hopefully that is at least somewhat entertaining, enlightening, or entertaining, or at the very least, it gets you up and, oh, hi, James. Thanks for showing a guest appearance for the very end. It gets you motivated to type in our comment section how wrong we are.
How stupid we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I promise I read every one of them.
Somebody comment and tell us how podcast equipment shouldn't be as cheap as it is.
Yeah, dude, every single time.
There's always one.
Every single time. And my response to them is great. You can go ahead and start one. But anyway, thank you guys for listening, tuning in. We appreciate it. Do the things, press the buttons, share, like, subscribe, tell someone about us. Love to see the engagement go up. We are seeing engagement go up, so we appreciate it. And we will catch you on the next one.
Yep. Bye, guys.